This murder is calling into question the vetting process at the southern border and whether more should be done to look into the migrants' backgrounds before they're released into the United States. Joining us now is the spokesman for the National Border Patrol Council, Chris Cabrera. Chris, thank you so much for being here. So when somebody is arrested for crossing illegally, are there any checks at all on these migrants? Do we have any idea who they are actually in the countries that they came from, what kind of lives they led in their home countries?
You know, their fingerprints are run against our records here in the United States, and not all countries share their records with us. So if we don't have access to their records, if they haven't committed any crimes here in the United States, then all we have to go by is what they say. And, obviously they're not, if they have a criminal history, they're not going to tell us about it. And not enough is being done. Obviously, what happened to this young lady is tragic. Unfortunately, it will continue to happen until somebody gets serious about this.
Right. So we don't know. Someone comes across the border. We know there's a huge number of people, hundreds of thousands from Venezuela, where this man was from. We don't know that he might have been a killer, a convicted killer in Venezuela, and he just shows up at our border and says, I'm applying for asylum. We have no way of checking.
No way of checking. I mean, it's on the honor system. Which is a shame when the first thing you do in our country is break the law, and then we're supposed to take your word for it. And everything else you say after that is the truth. It's ridiculous. It's silly. If these countries aren't willing to share their records with us, there's no way we should let these folks in the country.
And is that just Venezuela that doesn't share the records, or is every country not share records?
So I don't have a list of the ones that do and don't, but there are some that do, but most of them do not.
Ibarra was arrested after crossing illegally in September of 22. He claimed, quote, credible fear of returning to Venezuela. First of all, what is the definition of credible fear? What does that mean?
The credible fear, it has to be something along the lines of political persecution, religious persecution, something along those lines. 99% of the people we come across that claim asylum, they say the magic words. They say the magic word asylum, which is going to get them let go, and they know that. But then they talk about needing a job or living in a bad neighborhood, and neither one of those qualifies for asylum. But they know what they need to do to get through. This loophole has been there for quite some time. Unfortunately, CBP it shows no interest in closing that loophole, and we're going to continue along this path, unfortunately.
So they don't have to prove that they have a credible fear. They just have to say, I have a credible fear.
Yeah, at some point they do, and that's the problem with this system is we're so backlogged. We're waiting on the immigration or asylum officers to get to it. Instead of putting them at the front end where they can start vetting people, they have to wait years upon years in order to even get vetted to see if they're amenable to.
So the actual investigation into whether or not a person has a credible fear of being returned to their home country doesn't happen until they appear in court. And in this case, Ibarra was given a court date a year and a half later.
Yeah, and they know that. They know it's a flaw in the system, and if he doesn't show up for that court date, he disappears, goes to some other sanctuary city, and try and stay below the radar, which is fairly easy to do when nobody's out there looking for him. So of course that's what we're dealing with now. People know that if they come over, we're going to let them through, and they're taking advantage of the system, and unfortunately we're letting them.
And then he's arrested in New York City a year later after crossing into El Paso illegally for riding on a moped with a child who didn't have a helmet. It's not a serious crime. But if you're arrested while you're in this country asking for asylum, shouldn't that be automatic? You're going back? Automatic deportation?
It should be automatic. And on top of that, it might not have been a serious crime until somebody fell off that moped, and then all of a sudden it's a serious crime. We're letting people just flout our laws in our face, and we can't do that.
The police in Georgia are saying this murder of Laken Riley appears to be, quote, a crime of opportunity. She was bludgeoned to death, hit on the head. We don't know why he did this. We have no clue why he would do this, mostly because we have no clue who he really is.
No, you're right. And I think it's unfortunate that most people will, give illegal immigration a pass until it hits close to home. And, at that point, it's too late. I mean, this poor young lady, I mean, she's gone, and her family is suffering through this. And it's all preventable. It was 100% preventable. Unfortunately, multiple people didn't do their jobs, and this is where we ended up.
Yeah, we also know his brother, who was also here illegally, was arrested 3 times in Georgia for DUI, for shoplifting, for failure to appear in court. Is there going to be some sort of policy change? I get that they haven't been proven guilty in a court of law, but do you think that even if they're arrested for a crime that they should be deported, or do you think that due processes do them as well?
You know, I think due process is due, but at the same time, they shouldn't have been here in the first place. I don't know if there'll be a policy change. My gut feeling is no. You know, you ask the family of Border Patrol Agent Javier Vega, of Sergeant Brendan Mendoza, Josh Wilkerson, Christy Sue Peña, all killed by illegal aliens, and no policies changed.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.